It's always kind of a sad day when you got to take the Hobie Wave out, put it away for the winter, but lake's going to freeze, so you got to do it. Hey, can one person take apart one of these Hobie Waves, put it away? The answer is yes. I'm UpNorthGuy. This is one of my how-to videos. First thing I'm going to do is take off the tiller bar, which is this guy right here. Get this and the rudders out of here. It's got a little clip on it there that comes off on both sides, just like that. Pop up there. And the tiller bar just pulls right out. Once those clips are removed, you can set the tiller bar to the side and come back and do the rudders. Now the rudder has a little clip on the top of it that holds it in, so that's got to be removed. And then the pin, if it's in on the side of that rudder, has got to be pulled out so it can loosen up and come off of there. So one rudder is off. Go do the other one. That's got the pin. I'm going to pull out there, get it out of the way. Clip is off, and now the rudders are out. So now I'm going to come and take off the main sheet. Just unhook it from the back. Real simple. Put the hardware back on there so I don't lose any parts. And just try to keep the main sheet untangled. Sort of keep it together in one assembly as it comes out of there, and then just set it off to the side. This is the hardest part to do by yourself, which is to get the mast down. So what I'm going to do is put some padding back here. Sometimes a mast drops really hard and fast if you don't have somebody there behind you to help. But basically, this forestay here, this line, is what's holding the mast up. As soon as I undo this, it's going to drop down in a hurry. So what you want to do is use the halyard line here. You can see that that is hooked. So I'm going to hold on to the halyard as I disconnect the forestay from the bridle at the bottom there. So set the pin aside, make sure you don't lose that. And once this is removed, like here, that mast is going to drop. So I'm holding on tight to that halyard. That's what's holding it up at this point. So I'm going to slowly let this thing down. Drop it down as slow as you can. Sometimes you need to back up a little bit. Try to hold on to it as securely as you can. It's a little bit hard to work with because it's so long and a bit heavy, but there it is, it goes down. So now I will go back to the front. I'm going to disconnect those bridles from the front, and they can be put away. Move them up there to my little storage box. This is the shrouds and the forestay that's connected to the mast there. I'm going to take that off, put the pin in with it, get that set of lines out of the way. Next, put them back on the boat. They're still connected at the back. I'll have to take those off here in a minute. I've got the halyard there. It's also able to come off now since I've got the mast down. I don't need the halyard, so I'm just going to pull that line through all the way through the top. Get it all together. It's still connected at the back of the mast, so I'm going to keep that on the boat for now. And this does come apart pretty easily here. So I'm going to take that out. There's my mast float floating in there. So take this part out here. Move the shroud from here. This out of the way.
there. Just gonna stick this right back in where it was. We're gonna do the other side. Same way. All right, so now my shrouds are disconnected. I'm just gonna pull this whole thing out and get it up out of the way as well. There we go. Okay. So it helps make it a little bit easier to see what's going on. My halyard is here. I can get this out of the way as well. That there. And then with the mast, it's got a pin on it here that has to come out. And once that comes out, it just lifts right off the ball like that. Real simple. Okay, and then with the pin, I usually just stick it back in here so I don't lose it. But that is my mast, the long piece. And we'll get this up onto the shore.
So now it's time to take the boat out of the water. You can do this with one person. I've got it tied up here. And it sort of depends on your shoreline. I've got some rocks right at the shore, so it makes it a little bit harder. You just got to lift the front up and then just pull the whole thing forward, get it up onto the land. I'm actually putting it between these two trees here. It's going to help me later when I pull these hulls apart to have something to hold the other side, because I'm doing this here by myself. So luckily I got these two trees. I just stick it between the two of them there. So next is to remove the keeling bars. There's a pin on each side of it, front and back. Take those pins out, the keeling bars just pop straight out. And you can just set them aside. I'm going to go and get the lines off, the riding lines. I got one at the back, and I got one that goes down the side and the front. Just going to untie those lines from the front and back, get that out of the way. Take it off the front there, and then come to the back again. I'm going to start untying the splash guards first. They've got little ties at the ends, both ends. There's a tie off on all four places there. This is the rear one. Once it's untied, you can just take it straight out. Same process for the one that goes down the middle. Untie the little ties there, and then it'll pull out. And now we've got the trampoline to untie. So there's two little ropes at the back, one on each side of the back. You just start untying it and pulling those ropes through. And that will undo it from the back. Going to do the same thing up the middle. Just start untying it, pulling this through. It takes a little bit of time to get that rope out of there, but once that's done, both those pieces of trampoline are ready to come out of there. So next thing to do is pull the hulls apart. Now I'm going to use that tree as a brace, like I said, on the one side. It helps just to do one side a little bit, a couple of inches, and the other side, because these are long hulls here, so you're moving it sort of a few inches at a time on each side, pulling that crossbar out of there. So go to the front, go to the back, keep pulling at it. I'm going to go back to the front here, pull the front a little bit more, starting to loosen up. Finally get to the back again, and then that rear crossbar is going to pop out. So once that's done on this hull, just remove that piece of tarp. It's going to slide right out of there, super easy. Fold that up, put it away. Then I'm going to go pull out the rear crossbar. It's out on the one side, as you can see, so it's going to be easier to get it out. From the other side, just going to pull that thing out, and it will come off of the other hull. So that's the rear crossbar out of there. Set that one aside. Come back and take the other keeling bar off. Again, I've already removed my pins, so that just pops right out. And you can get that out of the way. Now we come to the front crossbar. This is pretty loose now. I'm going to push that tarp up just a little bit. Sometimes it helps to just kind of stand this thing up, the hull on its side, put your foot down on there, and then pull up to get that front crossbar out of there. And that is now done. We'll put that to the side. And then the last part of it is just this second piece of the tramp, which just pulls straight out of there, folded up, and this Hobie Wave has all been taken apart.
Definitely can be done by one person. Hardest thing really is working with the mast, getting the mast down without having it clank too much on the back of the boat. And then also with these pontoons are a little bit awkward to work with, but you can get them apart. Check out my channel on YouTube. It's UpNorthGuy. Got more videos about the Hobie Wave, how-tos, product reviews, life and living up here, beautiful northern Michigan.